Hello, my name is Blake and this is Devlog number 3 for Sleigh Bells. So the first part of this week was mostly spent building the subway. I spent nearly a day trying to create the first area of the game, which is a staircase. You'd think that that'd be something that would be pretty easy to make, but it turns out it's actually pretty hard to create a staircase that's actually like visually appealing. So I was looking at a lot of older games like Duke Nukem 3D, Max Payne, and the old Hitman games to try and get an idea of how to make older level design look good. So the subway map took me about 4 days to make, and I'm pretty happy with how it is at the moment. I've still got a fair bit of tweaking to do later on, but at the moment I'm pretty happy with it. So once the map was done, I added in the Killer Santa. And during that time I decided to rework some of the AI a little bit. The killer's AI is now much more performant, which is good, and now acts in a more realistic way than before. So now I'm working on the third and final area of the game, which will be set once again outside like the first map. In the last devlog I said that I had a fair bit left over that I ended up cutting from the first map of the game, which I was going to use as the basis for this third map, but I've decided to cut all of that out because I put it in and I wasn't very happy with how it looked. So most of that is gone completely. I've now constructed some new areas that I'm really happy with. There's now a more derelict area of the city that you have to pass through, and then you come to these train tracks that I've created, which I'm really happy with the way that they look, and they'll sort of serve as the final area for the game. So apart from building maps this week, I've also completely overhauled the interaction system. Originally in the game, and this is how all of my previous games have worked, to interact with something you sort of had to go into a trigger area and then a UI prompt would come up on the screen to interact with it. But that's sort of not very accurate because you can sort of turn around and if you walk backwards into the object, the same thing will happen. Instead, I've decided to go with raycasting, which is what most games do. So to interact with something, you have to be looking at it. This is something that I've been wanting to implement into my games for quite a while, but I sort of had it in my head that it would be hard to do, but it was actually quite easy. It's actually very similar to the way shooting is set up in a game. Once I had that set up, I then had to go back to the first map and take out all of these triggers and then replace it with these raycasts. And it was actually a quicker and less painful process than I was expecting it to be. So once I have this final area complete, I'll move on to tweaking and balancing the game, and then that will move into bug fixing. Now this is a stage of development that I usually spend a couple of weeks on, but as the game has to come out on the 23rd of December, and I'm just not going to have that much time to spend on this part of development. It'd obviously be good if I had more time to spend on the game, but as I have the deadline of Christmas, or the 23rd that I've set, if I miss that deadline, and it comes out after Christmas, like nobody's going to play this game because I don't really think many people are going to want to play a Christmas game after Christmas. But I think I still will manage to get the game done because it's already in a state that is playable. It just requires a lot of tweaking and balancing really. If you're a regular viewer of my videos, you might have realized that I'm in a different area at the moment. That's because I've changed around where I'm working in the house. I used to develop the games and shoot these videos in the same room, but that room is actually very dark and it's not very good for productivity. So I've moved to a much brighter room of the house, has big windows, and I'm also recording in a different space. And I found that as I've moved to a brighter workspace, I found that I've been getting a lot more work done, and I've also been doing a lot more higher quality work. So if you want to stay more up to date on the progress of this game, you can follow me on Twitter at BlakeMProds or on Instagram at BlakeMProductions. I've been posting on there every day with updates on the game, as well as showing some new things I made for it. Well, that pretty much gets you caught up on everything from the last week. I'd really appreciate it if you liked this video and commented to tell me your thoughts on it, and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.